All right, everyone, welcome back to part 3 of 3-part series here. In this video, we get the frame rails mocked up. As you can see, I am not with the charger back in my storage unit in Ohio. I am home. It is over Christmas break right here, but I was editing this video and realized I forgot to film an intro. So that's gonna be this one. If you missed the first 2 parts, cut the front rails off my charger there because they're just so rusty. They're all twisted. I mean, it was basically just junk at the end of the day. So I want to start fresh, over and clean. Built all new rails by scratch from the front end here. And then I think at the end of the last video, I get everything mocked up. So in this one, wrap them up and get them fully welded to the car. So stay tuned for the end for that. And then a special surprise I got at the end as well for this thing. Getting close to wrapping this thing up now, and this will probably be the last time it'll all be assembled together kind of in its mock-up phase here, because the next step is going to be to brace this whole thing up and then weld the crossbar in, and once that crossbar is in, I mean, this thing is together as is. So what I need to do here is figure out how I want to run my side plates across the side there. Haven't decided if I want to put one across the bottom or top yet. Not necessarily necessary. I just said necessarily like 3 times there in one sentence. Whatever, but I think it might look cleaner, so let's kind of see how that plays out. Plan 1, get this whole thing disassembled, make my template, then I got some 1/8 inch plate here. I want to make it out of all one swooping piece, so I might have to go get some bigger plate, but this is all I got for right now. So let's see what we can make happen here. Waiting on some metal to get here so I can plate the sides right there. As you can see, I'm starting to grind that down and get all smoothed out. Slot the plates over the side there. I want to do them all in one piece, so I just didn't have any sheets big enough. I mean, the biggest pieces I had were this, and that one's gonna work. So I had to order some. That'll be here in a day or 2. So I went ahead, made end caps for the front rails here. I was really struggling on what I wanted to do, if I just wanted to keep it square or flush or do some sort of shape or whatnot on the end, but I think this is the best option. Just clean, simple. Welded that on there, beveled both ends so the weld lay nice in there. Took flap disc, grind it all down, rounded off the edges there, and I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. I ended up doing all that by hand there because with the flap disc, I mean, I felt like I wouldn't have been able to get it as smooth as I did. So that's the first one. Second one here, I'm in love with that. So another small piece that took probably way longer than it should have, but I'd say well worth it in the end. Still waiting on some metal to come in so I can make these side braces here. This is all going to be on an 1/8 inch plate on the side, so that'll give it quite a bit of strength, I think. It's going to be 2 inches tall out of the 3 inch tall, whatchamacallit, piece right here, basically because it's got about an 1/8 inch radius on the end right there. So if I do this, that'll allow me to lay a nice bead along the edge all the way down there. I'm pretty indecisive what I want to do to end it off. So this triangle actually just matches these triangles here. Well, there we go. Like that. So this will be the front cross brace section. I'll have this tube right here going between the 2 rails. I think that'll look cool. Add these little triangle gussets on the side right there. My plan is to weld either the bottom half or the top half first once I get it tacked in place. That way my restarts will be right on the edge right there. So when I go to set this plate, I have the bottom notched like that. The plate will sit right over the restart there, and then I can go ahead and weld along the triangle. So then when you look at the weld along the tube right there, it'll hopefully look like, you know, one seamless weld there, and you won't see any restarts for a cleaner look. So it is starting to get very cold out now. It's like 20 degrees or maybe a little bit below that. And there's actually some snow on the ground for the first time this year. So there we go, document that. That's very exciting, but nonetheless, still making progress here.
side number 1. That is the passenger side, all wrapped up. I'll do a more in-depth walk around once it's all the way done, but turned out pretty good. Happy with it. Got side number 2 all tacked up here. Time to weld this thing in. But check this out. I don't think I've ever seen my regulator get frozen. It is that cold out, by far the coldest day yet. But you know what? Got this left to do, and then I want to get this all mocked up and tacked up with the crossbar and tabs before I leave tonight, because I just want to see that all together. So a little bit more to go here. Yesterday I wrapped up getting the side braces all the way welded on the sides of the rails, and by the time I was done with that, I straight up could not feel my feet. I was so miserable. I just decided to pack up and go home. So I didn't film anything, and today I went ahead, got the crossbar welded in the top with my triangle gussets. So kind of start at the bottom here with the braces, work my way up to the sides, and then show you what else I did along with the bracing there. On the bottom here, you can see these are all the plates. So we got one on each side, just going up to basically the back of the first K-member bolt. And if you remember on the template, I said I was gonna have it come to a point. I didn't like how that looked, so I just did a blunt edge there around to the corners. I think it looks a little bit cleaner. Plus this is gonna have brackets going off of it for the engine mounts eventually, which will probably be somewhere along right here, or maybe a little bit up here. I'm not totally sure yet, so it just really kind of all depends there. But yeah, that was a lot of welding. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out for the most part. All pretty good right there. So you can see all those on the sides. And then if you look at these, how they come, they have like this seam right here, which you could see, I mean, it's like it's not flat, but it like dips down just a little bit, very small. But I didn't like that. So on, where was it? I think it was on the inside of this piece right here. Yeah, and then the outside of this piece, it had that seam right there. So went through, welded up, ground everything down, got her nice and flat again. So just little things like that. I wanted to wait until I got all the bracing on and whatnot before I went ahead and did that, because obviously that's the only section you're gonna see. Did that, and then got the tube up top here all welded in with these gussets. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in the long run. I really wish I could have done that with a TIG welder, but I don't have one right now. So I think I'll leave that in there for the time being, and then once I get a TIG down the line, I think I'll cut that tube with the bracing off and redo it all with TIG, so it'll look a lot cleaner. But I mean, it's not horrible as is. It's not perfect, which bothers me. So I don't know. I'll say it's frustrating because TIG is the stuff I'm learning in school right now for essentially similar stuff like this, but I can't directly apply it to the car right here because I don't have the equipment yet. So like I said, that'll do for now. Down the line, I'd like to do that. Just want to get that out there. But yeah, this is officially all one piece now. So time to toss the K-member back on, clean up my mess, and then start getting this thing mocked up, square, and measured out here. second mock-up on the car here. This time everything is situated. There's still a lot of work to do to get this all square, get the car square with it, triple check measure. I mean, this is just the stuff that takes time right here. So this will be quite a bit of work to get all this figured out and everything. Just go based off my math there. That is all right. Just stick to that. I got, what do I have here? 2 more nights to get this all welded up to the car and get it done before I head home for Christmas. So it is the, what is it, 21st, 22nd right now? I'm going home the morning of the 24th. And it's supposed to get like 1 degree out Friday night. So I'm gonna try to get this done. If I gotta stay here super late tomorrow night, so be it. I'd rather be here while it's, 15, 20 degrees out opposed to 1 degree out. And oh man, it's getting close. Now the stressful stuff kicks in, Plan for tomorrow, take the whole subframe, I guess that's what we'll just call it, front subframe at this point, off the car, re-level the car, double, triple check that, know that that is set, get that, situated to the ground, mark that out, then go up with the rails again and just keep on and off until everything measures up right. I still got to bevel the ends that'll butt up to the torsion bar cross members so I could weld those up. That's the last thing I really have to cut or grind. And then once I get everything situated, I have 8 welds and this thing here is done. So you can feel it. Just got a little bit of the hardest part yet, I think, here to come. So almost there. After a lot of measuring, leveling, more measuring, more leveling, and frustration, bam, there it is. Like 95% done. The last few things that I need to get done, I gotta wait for some more material, and I'm coming up with some other ideas, but that, for this video, is done. Last things that I like to do in the future is right now I'm debating if I want to run a brace of this same 2x3 because I have some left over between the inner rocker right there to the side of it, something like that. Originally I was gonna run a tube from there up to the side. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. We'll kind of see. Still debating what exactly I want to do with the floors here. I didn't go through and hammer and dolly them. I tried, but since there was no structure there, I mean, it was not going super well. So now that I got this all welded to the torsion bar cross member, I'll go through, hammer dolly out just some of the little dents and whatnot that I had to take, or that, what do we call it, got on there when I was taking off the old rails. So I'll go through, hammer and dolly that, get that all flush. But man, that looks freaking sweet. Oh my God. It's honestly kind of a relief to get this done, but also to be able to stand back and just look at that. That looks sick. I am so happy. In the end, I decided to cut that old junk off and go ahead and do it this way. That's so much better. I'm so much happier with this way, and now it'll allow me to get the car as low as I want, and I can say I did all that. So not too bad there, but we got one more thing here that, as I said in the previous few videos, I think will just be the cherry on top for this thing. So let's get to opening that right now. So in all honesty, I got a little excited earlier and I already opened this box. Forgot to film it, but we're gonna do a quick rundown and show you the new parts and some of the other stuff that I got here from QA1 for this thing. That's pretty freaking exciting to say. All right, we'll start off with what's on top right here, and then make my way to the piece and the parts that will actually be going on the car here, and kind of explain the thought process behind it and what exactly it's all going to be used for. On top here, QA1 was nice enough to hook me up with
some hoodies to go drive it on it. Got one of those stickers on the duster. Of course, that's their saying to actually get out and drive your junk. So that's pretty cool. And also, considering it's like 25 degrees out right now, this super soft hoodie does have me very excited. So, sweet. Thank you, QA1, for that. Over here, got some fancy smancy clean QA1 hats, which is nice because I don't have it on right now, but my Sally Speed Shop hat is pretty dirty. Looks like it's been sitting outside for a year or two and then got run over once after that. So, got some nice new clean hats here. Might have to replace the old Sally's hat with one of these. Sorry, Jacob. And of course, I don't want to unfold them because this is so neatly and nicely folded, and I would never be able to get it to look like this again. But got some QA1 Go Drive It shirts, so excited about that. And the last thing in here is, of course, QA1 stickers. So toss these on the car somewhere once it's all done with the livery. I got a cool idea how I want to incorporate a bunch of partners on this build and brands and companies I've used stuff from. Kind of towards the livery in the end. So I don't know, I'm just thinking up ideas, but this logo you will definitely see on the car in the end. And now for the moment that we all have been waiting for, or at least I have been waiting for. Actually, I can't say I've been waiting that long because they got this thing to me pretty freaking fast. I was not expecting that, but it all worked out here perfectly with the timing, so I can't complain. And yeah, we got a brand new tubular K member for this thing. This will work for, let's see, let me check the instructions before I say the wrong thing here. 66 through 70 B-body Mopars, which obviously that's what this is right here. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'll bring the camera over here, give you guys a quick walk around of this K member, and then get this thing bolted on the car, see what it looks like, because I have not done that yet, and I want to see it on there. A quick walk around of the brand new tubular K member for this thing here. It is very freaking nice, I'll tell you that much, and I'm pretty excited to get this on the car here. So this one here utilizes the stock suspension or stock style suspension, meaning it's got like the stock style Mopar lower control arm, so the non-A-frame style. But then it will bolt up, directly in the same spots that this K member will. So that's why I'm using this guy here for all my mock-up and measurements, because it's all the same measurements there. This one will work for torsion bars, which I will not be using. I'll get to my suspension plans in a second here. But as you can see on the ends here, it's got this tube section. And that section is a little bit flat right there. So in the hardware kit they send you as well, comes with longer bolts, pretty much everything you need if you're putting this, in your stock frame rails. I can't remember the exact size thread that these are here, but those are the same ones that were in my factory rails. So these will just slide up right through there and then bolt right into the bottom of my rails there. So I'm not sure what my plans for the front suspension will end up being in the end, but up here, what I'm planning on and basically dreaming of at this point is I'd like to do A-frame style lower control arm, the A-frame style upper control arm, coilovers, rack and pinion for steering up front, and then right now what I need to figure out and what I need to determine and think of is if I want to do some sort of angle kit on the front to be able to get more angle to slide this thing around. So that's kind of the plans where I'm thinking. I'm happy I have this here now because that means I can get this in here, start playing around with measurements, mock up fender, which is mock up wheel and tire, just kind of get an idea and basically base everything off of this. This will also allow me to start messing around with engine measurements and potentially a mock-up block sometime soon. So all around, a huge win here. Very thankful that QA1 was able to send this out here for the Charger, and I'm excited to work with them on the rest of the front suspension and the rear suspension. And couldn't forget, possibly my favorite thing from them is a shop banner. I love shop banners, and I think that looks cool up there. As you can tell, I hung that up pretty much immediately. So time to get this old junk off and toss on this new hotness to see what this thing looks like.
So if you missed the first two videos or weren't paying attention because I talk too much and sometimes it gets boring, these are made out of 2x3 120 wall tubing here. Got four sections to make this part up here. So it goes from that flat piece right there up to this curve, up to this section, another curve, and then the full flat piece which comes to the front right here. I ended up making these curved pieces out of it was basically a U shape. It wasn't a 180, I forget exactly what it was. But I cut those bends out of there. I think it looks better than doing hard angles there. Nothing wrong with that. I just kind of like the smoother look. I went ahead and braced the sides. We got a brace on this side, brace on the inside there, and two on that side as well. That's out of 1/8 inch plate. Made that out of a single piece right there for the cleaner, smoother look as well. On the inside, in order to get the bolts and the threads for that, I basically made this plate. What did I make it out of? Out of some 1/8 inch. Basically, I think it was it was 2 inches, no, it was 1.5 inches wide. I cut that down, welded the nuts for the right thread size for these bolts in between it, then basically plug welded it from the bottom side, drilled, I think, was there 13 or 14 holes from about here all the way to there on center. Plug welded those were 1/4 inch holes, so that's in there pretty solid. Capped off the ends here, gave them a nice little radius, smoothed them all out on the end. Then we got some 1.5 inch diameter tubing up front here. I forget what wall it is. Man, yeah, I honestly can't remember off the top of my head right now. A lot of things to remember here. Then I got some 1/8 inch triangle gussets on the front right here. And then the last thing is that QA1K member, which you guys just all saw. It is now about 1:50 in the morning. About 25 degrees out, but I wanted to get this done tonight. Made it my goal to get it done because tomorrow night is supposed to be a high of 6 degrees out. That's fun. And at some point, I'd prefer to not turn into a human popsicle. And I think single digits would do that for me. So, made the bad decision to stay here super late. And now I definitely won't be able to sleep tonight because look at that. I'm just gonna screenshot that right there because Lord, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get the actual wheels and tires whenever that time comes and mock that thing up. But just for those, just because, just take a stare at that, like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be low, boys. That is the plan here. I don't know what it's gonna take to get that low, but that right there was step one. Heck yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. That is officially the end of this video. Appreciate everyone watching. A lot to make happen here, a lot more to go, but that is without a doubt motivating. So appreciate everyone watching. Appreciate QA1 for sending over this K member and trying to make something cool happen here. Starting off with this nonsense. I love that thing.